Hey guys, Kai here from Tic-Tac-Toe and welcome back to the channel. Today is all about one of Huawei's latest monitors, the Huawei Mateview. Alright, as monitors go, this is one of the most impressive monitors I have tested or used. There are several things to take note of before purchasing this monitor. Number one, it is the construction with an all-metal body. It looks sleek, elegant, and really very premium. The metal body isn't just on the frame of the monitor, but even on the stands and the control modules. I've used mostly Samsung, Asus, and Acer monitor in the past, and they all share a common denominator, which is having plastic body and construction. Now, apart from Apple's Studio Display or the Pro Display XDR, I have not seen many monitors with the same premium design. But if you do know of any such monitors that is all metal, really sleek, very nice, let me know by dropping your comments at the comment section below. Alright, the monitor, it does articulate. You can elevate or lower the height with just one finger. Nice engineering by Huawei on that front. You can tilt the monitor up and down, but not left or right, which I thought they could flex their engineering much more by allowing the left and right tilt. Now, the other thing to note is that you cannot mount this monitor on an external arm or a stand. Yep, the stand, it stays with the monitor throughout. You cannot take it off, you cannot remove it. It's there, like your luggage after you come back from vacation. Yep, it's going to be there permanently. The second thing to note is the display itself. They hold quite a few specs. The panel is IPS, which is 28.2 inches wide. It has HDR, it has good color gamut coverage, 98% DCI-P3, 100% sRGB. Now, anyone dealing with colors in their video edits or photo edits, this will be right up their alley. 4K native resolution, and by 4K I mean 3840 by 2560, but it only runs at a maximum of 60 Hz refresh rate. Not fantastic for gamers, but good enough for general gaming. Brightness is alright too at 500 nits, but what I noticed is that the screen is slightly dimmer on the edges. I'm not really sure why there is some dimness on the edges of the screen, but it is not a deal breaker for me. And the most interesting thing about this monitor is its aspect ratio. Yep, it is not the typical 16:9, but rather 3:2. Initially, I thought that this was a very weird ratio, and also because I've never really used a 3:2 monitor before. But after using it for weeks, I realized that it is great for productivity, but not really great for games. The 3:2 aspect ratio, how shall I put this? It makes the monitor taller than the usual 16:9. So reading and working on documents, spreadsheets, isn't as clunky as doing it on a 16:9. Now, the issue I usually face doing documents on a 16:9 is because it isn't tall enough. It is wide, yes, and it's great for things like your Excel spreadsheets, but having a taller aspect ratio, it really changes the game. So reading or annotating on PDFs is much nicer experience with the Mateview. Browsing the web is a much nicer experience. It almost felt like Huawei is trying to make this transition smoother as we go back and forth between mobile phones to desktop. Because when you are on your mobile phones and you are browsing the website or the app, you don't really read whatever that you are reading on landscape, right? Intentionally at least, because by default, we read everything vertical. On the port side of things, there are some which you will be happy about. You have one USB-C, which is the one to power up the monitor. Oh yes, it uses USB-C for continuous power. It is really awesome because I am tired and sick of proprietary cables and chargers and whatnots to power up the brand's devices, alright? Keep everything universal. USB-C, that's the one to go. You can also find another USB-C port, and this is either to be used for external device connectivity or you can use this to charge your devices. So back to the external device connectivity, you can hook this up with your tablet, with your phone, with your laptop, with your USB-C iPads, which is your iPad Pro, iPad Air, and your iPad mini. And yes, like what I've mentioned, you can use this as a power source for any of the devices that you hook on. You can juice up your devices and you can expect 65 watt power from this port. You get two of the normal USB-A ports, a HDMI 2.0 port, which supports 4K resolution of 3840 by 2560, but it only runs at 50 Hz. And I really wish that they've included a HDMI 2.1 instead, because you can run things at a higher refresh rate. And there is also a mini display port too. Now my verdict on the USB ports is that there's just not enough. One more USB-C port would be welcome. Having two HDMI ports would also be great. Having just one is kind of limiting. Huawei has gotten rid of physical buttons on this monitor. They went with touch ones with the Mateview. Tap once to get to the main menu, slide left and right to navigate, tap once again to select, and double tap to go back. The buttons are fluid and responsive enough, and it does feel like effort was put into building the touch controls. If you feel like you want to be a little extra, you can hook up a mouse and control the buttons of the monitor with your mouse. The monitor has wireless connectivity too. If you have a Huawei phone or tablet, you can make use of the NFC tag that is found on the base of the stand. Just tap your device there and you will get the connection running in no time. Huawei did mention that there is low latency and that you do not get any connection lags or errors. On my test, if you are using a laptop, you can wirelessly connect to the monitor too. You can go via a projection feature on Windows, or if you have the Huawei Manager installed on your Huawei laptop, you can use this application too. And I find that using this Huawei Manager route is a little bit easier, and if you're running on Huawei devices, you should definitely go on that route by default. Okay, don't think about anything else, just go on that one. All right, the last one that needs mentioning is the inbuilt speakers. They are decent enough to output audio from any of your devices that you hooked up on. There are a total of 2 speakers in the speaker modules, and they are both running at 5 watt each. The loudness is all right, but just don't expect it to be super loud. These aren't studio monitor speakers, so you have to really manage your expectations on this. Alright, I am super picky when it comes to laptops because laptop means a whole lot to me, especially on the productivity front. And for me, it has to serve the biggest purpose on why I purchased a laptop in the first place. And at this stage in my life, purchasing a laptop means there is a need for me to use it. Apparently, Huawei also included onboard microphones on its monitor. So yes, if you connect your laptop or desktop, you can use the mic that's found on the monitor to use for your calls, your virtual meetings. And here is a sample, an audio sample of it. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. How would you rate the audio quality? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. So after using and testing this monitor for a few weeks, I came to the conclusion that this is a monitor that you did not think you needed it until you've actually used it. And after using it, wow, I'm telling you, the experience, especially on document reading, on annotation, what I've discussed just now, it is really something else. I thought that anything that could be crammed into a 16:9 monitor is the end game. I was so wrong. 3x2 for productivity work is simply amazing. I for one think that this monitor is a good monitor, and I'm giving the monitor a tic-tac-toe stamp of approval. Alright, this monitor, it retails for SGD 848 on Lazada currently. You can get yours by clicking on the description box below. There is a link there. Just check it out. Alright guys, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.